Welcome back. I'm Robin,
And I'm Kristen,
and we're covering episodes 13 through 15
13 through 15 of Run
of
BTS.
Run BTS.
And so without further ado, we're just going to get into it.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so 13 through 15 was a three-part segment.
Yeah.
Remind me what it was. The spy.
Yes,
It was a
the
spy. We're back with the spy. It was
spy.
Return of the
Yes,
Spy.
right.
And they were at the water park.
Yes, they were at the water park.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were at the water park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to open up with the question I probably should ask at the end, but did you think the spy was the spy? Like after you've revealed it, after they revealed it and you look back at watching the episodes, did you
No.
see it?
No.
Okay.
Did not.
Did you
not.
have your theories as to who you thought was the spy?
No. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't watch after the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I did not watch it with the intent on trying to figure out who the spy was.
Okay.
It wasn't there in my head. I was just watching
this is our second spy
right. It is
run through.
Yeah.
I think we need to train ourselves to be on the lookout. Well,
I
we have to be vigilant with
Yes.
these guys.
yes.
We have to be very vigilant with them. So let's get into the premise of what the episodes were about.
Okay.
So there was a 3-part series. They were at a water park in Ilsan, and they were what, paying attention?
Not focused on the spy.
Not focused on the spy. They had a series of games that they had to do at this water park.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the young team versus the maknae team, or the old guys versus the young guys.
Yeah.
And Sugar was the MC.
Right, Sugar was the MC.
Sugar was the MC, so he didn't have to compete. And he could have been the spy. He may not have been the spy. But they had Jin, RM, and J-Hope against JKV and Jimin.
Mm-hmm.
Which, whenever you get those three together, they're chaos.
Yes. And I have to say this.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the winter. And that's all I have to say.
Yes, she really did have a hard time with that, which I don't disagree with her, because it was fine if it was inside, if it stayed inside the whole time. But I think by the time we got to the second episode, the penalty for the first round, they had to do that slide.
They had to do that,
and
slide.
it was a 2-seater, so luckily lucky for RM, he didn't have to go out there. The maknae line chose him to stay behind because they believed he wasn't the spy. And so they sent Jin and J-Hope out into the freezing cold to go on this ridiculously scary looking water slide.
Yes.
And those poor guys, they were freezing.
They were freezing. They were freezing. It was cold.
It looked cold. I felt it through the screen.
Yes.
They had their giant padded jackets on and all their layers, and they were still shivering.
And I like the cold. I do. I like the cold.
Me too.
But I don't want to be on a water slide.
I don't want to be wet in the cold.
Right. So I don't want to be on ice.
Yeah, because I mean the water, yes, it's moving, but you have to imagine that with the low temperature, it is might be a little bit sleeker on the sides of the slide.
Yeah. So,
but it does increase the speed at which they go.
They did. It did. That was the fun part. Yes, it did increase the speed, but it was cold.
So the very first challenge they had was the water tube.
The water tube, which looked like a huge hair curler.
Yes,
hair roller.
It did look like giant hair rollers.
Yes, they did.
And they had to go through that. So one by one, they had to go back and forth through, while the other team. You're going to say something?
The other team prevented them to do
tried
as much as they could. Yes, as much as they could.
So they created more of an obstacle.
Right.
And then whatever team had the least collective fastest time.
Right.
Got the prize. So the prizes for each round, do you remember what the prizes were?
With the foods.
Yeah. The winning team got to choose 2 foods. Losing team only got to choose 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, they had all of their food items to create their meal.
Right.
So that was the first one. Do you remember who won the first round? I want to say it was the maknae line.
Yes.
I think it was.
It was the maknae line. Yes.
Okay.
And the second one was it the oh my goodness, the word is in my head. The one, oh man, the vortex.
Feels like you're spinning. No. That was the next episode. Remember there were 3 challenges in the first episode.
So it was down that slide?
That's the second episode. That was I think the second one.
No wonder I couldn't figure out the spot. I couldn't figure out the episodes. What was the second episode? Okay. Not the second episode, the second challenge.
I think it was the butt one. Where they had to push each other off with their butts.
That's right. I totally jumped, didn't I?
You did.
Okay.
You did. Yeah. But it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. We'll forgive you. But yeah, that was the butt one.
Yes.
And I think that was
floaties.
They're on this massive like floaty thing.
Like and a floaty mat.
And they had to bump each other off with their butt.
Right.
And I'm not gonna say that was probably the first time that a spy potential, like a somebody that seemed like they were acting super suspicious was brought out, but I feel like J-Hope trying to get on the floaty. Yeah.
And also that little flip thing he did once he was on, right? Didn't he do it?
No. He tried to flip onto it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. The way he tried to jump onto it was like a half jump, half flip, all fail. He almost fell in the water. So the object is to not get in the water first. So he thought he was being slick. He forgot that the mat was slick.
Right.
And almost slipped off.
It wasn't accomplished. Yeah. Not at all.
Yes, so that's when everybody started looking at him like, "Oh, you're the spy."
Yes.
And so who won that one? I think the Maknae. No. The Hyungwon won that one.
Mm-hmm. I believe. I
thought they won the third one. I think the Maknae line won that one, and the third one where they had to race across on the different floaties. I think the older team won that one because Jin was bragging about how quickly he did it.
Yes. Okay.
And then Jimin kept falling.
Why don't I just sit here for a second? Just a second.
Didn't you have notes?
Just for a second. Well, that was the purpose of this, but just for a second. Let me massage my memory. Okay? Let me just massage it and get it up and going. I'm trying to visualize the 3 obstacles or the 3 water sports that should we call it a sport? Sports, not sport. The water challenges, right? That they did. Mm-hmm. The big one with the tube. Mm-hmm. The one with the floaties. Mm-hmm. And the third one was
where they had the pads and they had to go
run across the pads. Okay. Thanks for the help with the massage.
The refresher?
Yeah, refresher.
Anytime.
Yeah, okay. What you're saying is that the Maknaes won the 2 first?
The first 2. I think they won the first 2, and then the older guys won the third one. Because Jimin kept falling, and he took up a lot of time, and then Jin was super quick.
Was super fast.
Yeah, for the older team. Yes. So that was, I think that was their first one, because they were really excited about it.
Yeah.
So that was the first episode.
That was the first episode.
Yeah, and
now the second episode. No, just kidding. I got that one.
She's right. You know what? I'm not even going to talk. Go ahead and talk about the second episode because
the second episode they had their challenges was the vortex. That was the last one.
No, was it?
No, it was the middle one.
The one with the math problem.
Yes.
I thought that was the first one.
No, they went down the slide.
Yeah, they go down the slide
and came through the vortex. Okay, they went down the slide, water slide, each by themselves. Mm-hmm. It was single, and then the exit of that slide was to slide into like a vortex, and there was a gentleman there that had a math problem for them, and it was right at the entrance into the vortex. Yeah. And he held the sign, then he dropped it, or he, took it down real quick.
He did drop it. He literally dropped it down the stairs. So
and they had to see it immediately coming through. They had to keep their eye on him to see the problem. And I would say out of the 6, two Two got him. So 4 just totally did not see it.
Missed it completely.
And so then they had to go back. Mm-hmm. And because it was one from each team, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
It was Jimin and RM who solved it.
So
yeah, you got that one.
I got that one. So they had to go back and see which one seen that problem, solved it, and then that determined the winner of that particular challenge.
And do you remember who won that one?
Nah, don't challenge me.
It was Jimin. Jimin won that one.
Okay.
But I feel like it was because he cheated. Now, I love Jimin. I do. I think we all can agree. I love Jimin. Yeah. But that first round, he came out. First off, he came down the slide super slow because he did it wrong.
He did. Yeah.
And then he comes out of the tunnel into the vortex on his feet because he literally had to crawl out because he didn't slide right.
Because he didn't slide right. So he didn't have the momentum.
He didn't have the momentum. Okay. So he got a better look at it, and he didn't have the force of the water hitting him in the face from exiting the slide to distract him from seeing the problem. So, I mean, Jimin's smart. Like, yeah, of course he'd be able to solve the problem, but he also had an advantage because he was able to see it longer than the other members. Right. And he went first. So, of course, when everybody's coming out and they're like, oh, I didn't see it. And he's laughing at them because he's like, how could you not see it? It was easy. Well, of course it was easy for you. You were standing.
Maybe you should have crawled in.
Yeah, maybe if you had done it wrong, you would have gotten it right. Yeah. So I mean, I'll give it to him because obviously they did, but I felt a way about that.
Yeah. I
was really kind of taken aback by that. I was like, they let that slide.
They did. They let it slide.
No pun intended. They let that slide. So he did end up winning that one for the younger guys, and they got their 2 more meals. I think by this point they still hadn't acquired a beverage.
Wasn't water one of them?
The older guys got water.
Yeah. Okay.
I think.
Well,
the older guys got a beverage before the younger guys did, and the younger guys kept getting all this. I remember when they got to the pretzels, and they were like, "We need something. Like, we need liquid. The pretzels are gonna dry us out. Like, we need a beverage."
Yeah.
But I think they finally did get water.
Yeah. Okay. So the second one. That one was.
I'm trying not to go out of order. I know that they did the one where they had to come down the slide and then they all had to act out.
Right. A certain
word at the same, like they all had to do the same
action for the word.
Yeah.
That was the second one.
That was the second one? So what was the third one? Oh gosh, now we both need memory massages.
You know what? I think they only did 2.
In the last one? And then they had the punishment?
That
makes sense. Because that would explain why we can't remember it.
Right. Because let's hope that explains why we can't remember it.
Look, it's been a crazy few weeks here. So the time between us prepping to record this episode and actually recording it has been greater than most.
Yes.
So we tried to do homework, but we also had other stuff we had to prep for future recordings. So forgive us. Our memory is not what it used to be.
Once you watch it, you're gonna totally enjoy it.
You know, how about you watch it and just tell us where we messed up? Just tell us what we forgot.
From Welcome Back.
Yeah. Like you've got everything wrong. Like, why did you even press record?
That's right.
It's okay. You know what? At the end of the day, we're just having fun talking about it. Right?
Yeah. As you could tell.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think it was just those 2 challenges, and then poor Jin and J-Hope having to do the punishment.
Yes.
And then that brought us into the 3rd episode, which was the conclusion. But they still had challenges. They still were against each other. So they had, but it was to take food away from each other. That's what it was. It was to take food away from each other.
Yes.
So they had the opportunity to take food. So the first one was the IC challenge, where they had one of the younger team, one of the older team, and they had to say things to each other to try to break the other person. Mm-hmm. And I honestly am drawing a blank on who won that one. I was very entertained by all the things that they were saying to each other. like the dig at Jimin's height, and then the dig at Jin and his like strong preference to not have dirty clothes on his bed.
Yeah.
There was RM and V, who RM was complaining about V being up late playing video games, how he's always blasting like his music and what he's watching on TV really loud. There was that. JK couldn't say anything about J-Hope. He was like, I can't say anything. I've got nothing.
I want to say,
I think it might have been the older. I think it was.
I think it was. I don't know why RM is sticking in my mind, but
yeah, I think
it was their team that won.
Yeah, I think him and Jin beat out their opponents.
Right.
And then you had I think JK might have won that last one, but I can't remember.
And then they had the game, the swords.
Oh yeah, with the what is it, a pirate in a barrel?
Yeah, it was a pirate in a barrel. It was a game,
and the younger team won that one.
Yeah,
and then they had the sleeping dog, with
the
treats. Yeah,
yes,
and the younger team won that one.
Yeah,
the younger team won that one.
Yes,
you know what? Even if they didn't, to us they did.
Yeah.
To us they won that one.
Yes.
And then they had to guess who the spy was, and they had their guess. I think they guessed twice before it was revealed to them.
Right. Because
who was their first guess? Do you remember?
I don't know if he was the first or second, but V
was the first one.
He was the first one.
So V was the first, yeah. Okay. He was the first guess.
V was the first guess.
J-Hope was the second guess.
Right.
And they eliminated JK because they were like, he was the last spy. There's no way he could be the current spy. So,
but they kept skipping over the actual spy. Just
I think he was only suspected once.
Yeah, it was just, and he was just sitting there.
Casual. But when they revealed it, they started seeing all of the patterns. Stuff, like, oh, okay, wait, hold on. You were doing this and this happened. And yeah, they definitely, the 2020 hindsight. It was definitely 2020 hindsight. And they were like, how could we have missed that? And even I'm sitting there like, how could I have missed that? But he was just that good.
Okay, well, I need to know, because this is probably why I wasn't thinking about it throughout the challenges. But what are some of the things that they're looking for to determine?
Well, you have to remember how well these guys know each other. So they can probably sense when somebody's lying or overacting. And so they
outside of their character.
Yeah, they're just kind of doing a little too much.
Yeah, okay.
I know that they've talked about like, oh, this person's being strangely quiet. What's going on? So I think they pick up on certain subtle things that we probably, because we're not privy to all of their little nuances. But yeah, I think things like they mentioned the ears turning red.
Yes.
They mentioned
matter of fact, he said, why are your ears red?
It's like he was like he had some really weird excuse for that. So it's little things like that where they kind of know each other that well. I mean, you have to remember this relationship is so deep for them, for all of them. Right.
Yes.
So yeah, they definitely do know each other's like, their little tells. They're tells.
They're tells.
So yeah, I think that's what it is. And again, when you see somebody who's like trying too hard, like doing something a little too much.
That's what they said about J-Hope when he was trying to get onto the
he was overacting.
He was overacting. Yeah, he didn't have to do all that.
Yeah, and then there in certain things that they say, like when the rule was if you guess the spy right, everybody but the spy gets to eat. But if you guess the spy wrong, only the spy gets to eat. And I think we were in the second challenge by that time, and JK's like, that's not fair. And they were like, are you the spy? So the little things like that where they kind of pick up on the things that they do or don't do that are out of the norm. And that's their tells.
Yeah, those are their tells. So I'll look for that if there's another.
Oh, there's going to be many more spy episodes.
Okay, so then I have something to look forward to. Because I think that's one thing
they like playing.
I just have to remember to look for.
Me too. Because remember to look for them. Even though I've seen them all, I still learn something new in rewatching it. Mm-hmm. I see something I missed the first time around. I'm more clued in. I think I was trying at the time that I did watch all of them. I think I was just too focused on trying to get in as much as I could. Mm-hmm. And I was getting to those moments where I'd seen like bits and pieces of episodes and I was like, oh, I just want to get to that episode. I think the focus now that we're actually talking about it, right, and discussing, and then the fact that I have somebody to discuss it with, you know, as opposed to just watching it kind of on my own.
And you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Or should I say you're welcome? Because honestly,
thank you.
This is it's such great content and it's so hilarious. And you know, we like comedy, so
yes, we do.
So this is perfect for us.
Yeah.
So I like it. Yeah. So definitely look forward to the spy games. I know that they play Mafia a lot.
Yes.
And that's gonna be a fun episode to watch because that when they play Mafia, they're hilarious. Everybody cheats. Everybody cheats.
And that's what makes a great game, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I think it just makes their bond so much stronger when they realize they can't trust each other. That's just how they are. So yeah, I mean, anything else? Oh, I do want to mention how when they incorrectly guessed the spy and he got to eat, how they were like trying to do things to get food from him.
Oh, yes.
And he had all the power to, you know, allow them to eat or not. I like to see those moments where they kind of show out to try to get food. The things that they would do for food, I'm starting to realize.
Yes, that is a central common thing with them.
You'd swear they don't get fed ever.
Yeah.
The way they just they will sacrifice their idol image for food.
They like food.
They love food. So I had a great time watching it. I always have a great time watching them. They're so funny and their personalities are so different than what you see on stage or what you see or what you hear in the tracks. And like I said in the beginning, like this is a chance to get to see all the sides of them because they show us, you know, one side of them when they're writing their music and they're performing, but then getting to see them just kind of be themselves.
Yeah. That's definitely a plus.
No, it's hilarious.
And then when you see them do silly things on stage or, you know, playful things on stage, you know where that comes from now because of the times that they, you know, kind of are together and
they just have such a great natural chemistry with each other. And I think that because of that, you know, being together all the time and the bond that they've chosen to have with each other, they really are family. They really are brothers. You see all sides of they're supporting each other 100%, but they're also goofing off with each other 100%. You know, they fight like brothers. They love each other like brothers.
They're protective like brothers.
Oh, they're very protective, and they adore each other. Like it's so cute when you see them like loving on each other like that.
Yeah,
and hyping each other up.
Yes,
it's a great dynamic. So I love that we get to see all the sides of them. I love Run BTS for that. And honestly, I would buy the DVD set. I
don't know. That's a lot of episodes.
Do they? Well, I mean, you have to look at other like series that have a lot of episodes, and people buy DVD sets of that.
Well, no. I wasn't saying in that fashion, but I was just thinking about. So, how many episodes are there?
155 plus, I think 6 in the lab, or is it in the lab? There's 6 additional at the end, so I think it comes out to 161.
Yeah, that's a regular show.
Oh no, I'm sorry, 162. So 156 episodes of Run BTS plus the 6 extra.
Yeah, that's like a regular, you know, show.
And then there's Run Jin. So there's, you know, all of that. It's like a spinoff.
Right.
It's like a show got a spinoff.
It's like a spinoff.
I wonder if any of the other guys will have their own Run episodes. I don't. I kind of want to know what that would look like.
Well, they're busy. They're real busy right now.
Well, they're about to be real busy.
Well, they're about to be real busy.
They're about to be real busy.
But
as we count down the days to their return.
Whatever they do, though, if another one or all of them branch out and do something like that, it would be hilarious.
It would
be good. So, well, there we have it.
Yeah. So go watch Run BTS episodes 13 through 15. Or don't and miss out. I don't know, it's your loss. But if you do, and if we were wrong about anything, please tell us. Yeah. Because the odds of you hearing this episode and then watching it before we get a chance to rewatch it is probably greater. Yeah. So yeah, just let us know if we totally messed up on anything. Or if we were right on. I don't know. Either way, we had fun talking about
it. Or the brain massage didn't quite work.
Yeah, the memory massage. Yes. I think we're going to have to incorporate that going forward. There's a lot of content. There's a lot of content. Yeah. It's a lot of stuff to try to keep in order, to try to remember what we have to work on, to study or to prep for and stuff. But I think my favorite part is actually prepping. I love the prep work.
Getting the content. Yeah. It is.
Yep. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. What are we doing next time? What's the next episode?
The next episode is the album.
Yes. Yeah, we have an album review. So next time, tune in and hear us talk about the album. The next album, I don't remember which one is on. It's either the first part 1 or part 2 of the most beautiful moments in life. Part 1.
Part 1.
No, it's part 2. After this episode, it's part 2.
Part 2?
Yeah. So we'll be reviewing part 2 of the most beautiful moments in life. The most beautiful moment in life. HYIH part 1, 2. Dang it! Oh my goodness. Okay, well, our brains are officially done for the day. So we're going to be done for the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching.
We'll see you next time. Bye.